Hi, and welcome to my video. In this video, I am running around on a map that I have created. The idea for this map started when I was thinking about a role-playing game campaign that I had been participating in for over 2 years. I, along with several others, had been enjoying the journey we had taken in the game. Then the thought struck me, how fun would this be as a video game? I thought about the idea for several weeks and worked on some ideas of what I would want to see in a game if I created it. I came to the conclusion that this sounded like an awesome idea. I contacted our GM for the campaign and presented the idea to him. He loved the idea of it. He also wanted to help create the game. And so the two of us and my teenage children that had already been helping me on game jams decided we would make this game. And that is where we start a long journey. The map you see me running around on is just the beginning. You see, I have been creating small games for a long time, but they were for my enjoyment and for game jams. I had never created a large, full game like this. Also, all of my games were 100% hard-coded. That is, I typed every line of code using C++ in Visual Studios. I used SDL to bring my images in and place them on the screen. I thoroughly enjoy creating games like this, but I knew for this game that was not the direction to go. When I first decided to learn programming, I looked at many different options. One option was game engines. I did lots of research and came across several platforms to use, but they were all very expensive. I had no schooling for this or any experience in coding at all. I could not spend money on the software, unsure if this was a path I would even be able to do. So I settled on learning C++ in my spare time. I purchased books and looked up videos. I struggled with harder concepts and sometimes with some of the simplest concepts. Now, over 10 years later, I am still coding in C++ and have found that I can lose many hours of the day in creating games. Little did I know that I would have such a passion for coding. After deciding that hard coding this game was not the direction to go, I started looking at game engines again. The two main ones I found and had to decide between were Unity and Unreal Engine. Unity uses C# and Unreal Engine uses C++. I have previously attempted to learn C# and I'm sure I could if I put my mind to it. But because I already know a small amount of C++ and I know I truly enjoy it, I decided that Unreal Engine would be my engine of choice. And the fact that the cost had changed so dramatically from the first time I looked at it helped a lot. Our roles in developing this game are as such. Our GM and I are learning Unreal Engine and will be creating the game in it. I have also been learning how to do 3D modeling in Blender. This is a software where much of our art will be fleshed out. One of my children is aspiring to be a 2D animator and artist. She will be creating 2D concept artwork for the game. The artwork that we all agree on will then be turned into 3D images for our game. My other child is more interested in learning coding himself, but not C++. However, he loves to play games and can sit through some of the most tedious and challenging games without losing interest. He is our alpha tester. He has also helped create some of the sound effects in our game jams and might help with that as well when it comes time for that. Now that we all have our roles, it was time to start learning to use Unreal Engine. I downloaded the engine and played around in it a bit, but was not getting far. I had purchased a book and it was helping, but still not good enough. YouTube videos were getting me further, but I still struggled. So I started looking around for some courses that might help me. I came across Udemy and they were having a sale on the courses that I was looking at. I purchased several courses from them. This was exactly what I needed. I started in on the courses right away. I was quickly catching on. One of my courses was on landscapes. And that brings us back to the video you are watching. By working through the Udemy course, I learned the tools, tricks, and tips I needed to create this landscape. The world you see is a collaboration project between our GM and me. This is not our actual game yet, We are both still learning how to use Unreal Engine and are not ready to truly start developing the game. We are still working on details of the game and meet regularly. We have this project so we can test our ideas for the game. We also needed a project that we could test our abilities to work on the same project together, as neither of us had ever done a project like this before. Perforce was the next piece of software that we brought in so we could work on this project. You see, we don't live near each other. In fact, we are in different states. So we wondered how we were going to do this. Then we found Perforce. I struggled for a few weeks on figuring out how to set it up. We were both able to get onto Perforce. I set up a project and voila! We can both access the project and add to it. Next, we needed better communication. We were sending emails and texts back and forth, but that was not the best way to do this. Our GM mentioned using Discord. That is how we get together for playing the role-playing game that spurred this idea, and why not use it for the development of this game? That was a great idea. We are able to share ideas, keep each other updated on our personal progress, and do live chats every week. We are nearly a year into working on this project. We are all progressing at great speeds, and I believe that soon we will be able to start on the game. To some, this may seem like a long time to be in pre-development stage, and for some it is. But for us, this is where we need to be to make this game as awesome as we think it can be. We do not want to rush the game and create something we are not proud of. The final game may not be done for several more years. We don't know right now, but we do know that we are excited to be working on this game. And me personally, I am very excited to see what we create. I know it will be even better than what I am imagining it to be. Updates on this game will be few and far between for a while. We are only in pre-development and learning before we truly start development. Details for the actual game will be released if and when we have development started. And now some details for the map that I am running around on. I have created a large landscape. If you've been watching up to now, you may have noticed that I started on the very edge of the map and have only made it a small way in to what is available. The area at the end of today's run is a grouping of volcanoes surrounding a large crater. The crater is crazy deep and hard to get out of. There is currently only one way out, and I am working on a second way out. As we continue to learn, the crater and volcano area will have creatures added to them. This will not be an area the player will want to wander into just for the fun of it. With some smoke, steam, and ash added to the volcanoes, this could be a very difficult area to navigate. But if a player is lucky enough to find the way out, there's so much more to explore. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. As long as development for this game continues to move forward, I will occasionally continue to post videos on it. Just remember that for now we are in pre-development and this is just our progress towards learning how to make this game. Until next time, bye!